Extremely impressed with James Madison. The Jefferson kid is really good, 6 foot, and she could score. And McDaniel kid could shoot it. So I was impressed the way their whole aspect of their defense and their offense. I thought they were really, really good. They gave us a lot of trouble, especially the first quarter. I thought we had a hard time scoring, and we kind of figured it out, and we kind of slowed them down the second quarter a little bit and went back and forth. But, second half was a lot better. I thought we were able to guard them a little bit better and figured it out. Sometimes it takes us a little while to figure out who can. We know who can shoot it. It takes a while for us to cover out. So, but I was impressed by them. We had some opportunities, and really the whole week we didn't shoot it as well as we'd like. That's kind of part of it. And against South Al, our legs just looked like we didn't have any legs. We just kind of going through it. In the third quarter, we started to score a little bit and shot the ball a little bit better. They shot the ball pretty good the first half and just kind of back and forth, and we were able to kind of hang in there. We started kind of picking them up in the full court and trying to make them. To me, I just felt if we made them play a little bit fast, they didn't want to play fast, and we were able to kind of get them to do that, and that's kind of when we took the lead and kind of finished off. But it's one of those weeks where you get on the road and you travel all day, and it's hard to practice at night when you travel all day, and it's just part of it, though. Went from Charlottesville, Virginia, all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina, from Charlotte, North Carolina to Mobile. So it was a long day, but kids are I think we're getting healthier, so that's going to be the big plus for us. I think going into this week, honestly, the next 2 weeks, you got to win all the games. That's just my feel. You got to win them. And so we're on the road this week. Monroe's playing better, and I know Arkansas State had a big win against Troy, so that'll be a tough game. It's always tough to play at Arkansas State. It's always a tough place to play. So we'll see if we can get those and not split, but, win those two and come back and have really what we want, Texas State. And you got to beat them, Texas State and Southern Miss.
Question for Coach.
How much of James Madison was just the lack of familiarity with them in terms of being able to defend?
I'll tell you, as a coach, yeah. I mean, I didn't know what to expect at all, really, to be honest. You watch film and you see them, and, you looked on film, the 6'4" girl looked big and strong, and then you get there, I couldn't figure out who she was, and she was more athletic, slimmer, and so we actually did a pretty good job. Honestly, we outscored them 30 to maybe 10 in the paint. And I was kind of surprised because they had 2 6'4s, but they shot and they made 30 points from the three, And the McDaniel kid, I mean, she was 4 for 6 the first quarter. We finally figured it out. So, yeah, I think it's a different style, too. It's called different, We did take some charges, but it's a little bit more physical game on the East Coast to me, and they kind of let you pound a little bit. And we had a couple of nosebleeds and it was a tough game, But, it took us a while, and I think it's going to probably take us even longer playing them once a year like that, or maybe you'll get to play them in the tournament. But, yeah, it was a different kind of game. It really was. And we were not familiar with them at all. No, that's a great point.
You mentioned about winning the last 4. Are you emphasizing that mentality to your team, or is it kind of just taking it one game at a time?
Well, I always just with them, it's one game at a time. We talked about these last 5. Can we win the next 8 in a row? That's what we're talking about right now. We got 8 games left. Can we win the last? Now we have 7. Can we win the next 7 games? That means you'd win the tournament, Because if we win out, I think we'll have a bye or a double bye. So, top 4 seeds. So can you win out? And we kind of talked about that coming back from South Al is, can we do that? But at the same time, we're going to take it one game at a time. I mean, Monroe game is going to be extremely important. So, yeah, I think we've done it before, I think that's the good thing about it is I think we can get on a run and kind of I think we're as healthy as we've been in the last month or so. So hopefully we can kind of get Lene going again. And, D. Rice is healthy. And, Tamara's taking a beating, but she's healthy. And I know, we'll just see what we got. And then we're excited about some of the kids that are coming off the bench. Jalen James is playing better. That's going to be a big plus for us. Mariah Stewart looked really good against James Madison. So now you're starting to get some offensive output from there. So hopefully we can kind of get that going and finish off.
What is Arkansas State doing then?
I think they can score it, man. They're playing their half-court game better and stuff like that. Not so much that their defense is any better, but, man, they look like they're scoring it. They're very aggressive from the guard position and stuff like that. And it looks like they just can't – I think they always had the talent. They just wasn't playing together, and now that's what they're doing. They look they look really good against Troy. So, Troy's going to let you kind of do your thing, and that's what they want to do. They want to score, and I think they're scoring it a lot better.
How important is it? You're running out of games here. Do you feel like y'all are at the point where you have an offensive identity going to the Pensacola, or is that just?
Yeah, I think we do. I think our identity got messed up when Lene went out because we were relying on her a lot. We giving her the ball. And she wasn't in, and we had some other kids step up. But I think we do have identity. And I think that's a great point too. Is sometimes it doesn't look like it. It's like who's putting the ball up is not who we want the ball to be put up. It's just kind of one of the things. But we give the green light to pretty much everybody that choose their own shot. Now we're always talking about shoot your shot, and I think we're getting there. But with Lene out, I thought, the identity kind of swayed a little bit, and then we started to look like we did at the beginning of the year. But I think with her coming back and trying to get her comfortable again, and and like I said, Stewart, trying to use her a little bit more and stuff like that. And we're going to have to defend. We're going to have to make it ugly, I apologize for that, but it's just kind of how we play. It's going to be some ugly games, some low-scoring games. I know a lot of people don't like it. That's the opposite of what we want basketball to be. But I'm all about winning, trying to find a way to win.
Would you say that kind of playing ugly and kind of keeping it kind of low-scoring in that way, or at least an ugly pace, would be that offensive identity that you're looking for going forward and into postseason?
Yeah, no doubt. To me, I always felt when you're talking about a tournament and you got to play back-to-back games and all that, you got to be able to defend. It's hard to count on your. I see it over and over. It's hard just to count on your offense and making shots and all that. And some people get lucky and able to do it. But for us, I think it's going to be important that we can make stops and we can rebound. And I had a guy. I was in the doctor's office today and had an older gentleman. I don't know who he was, but he stopped me and he said, "Man, I watch y'all play." And he said, "Man, how tough y'all play and how y'all make the game tough, And I'm like, that's what we do, And this is an older gentleman I've never met before. I don't know what he knows about basketball, but he was right on what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to make the game, trying to slow the game a little bit down for other people, or sometimes even trying to speed it up. I was on D Rice on Saturday about I wanted her to speed it up. That's opposite of what we try to do to Troy, and I think that's what we have. It's hard to notice that we're trying to control the tempo of the game, and that's the identity of our offense. I think we'll slow it down when we need to. We'll speed it up and I think the younger kids coming off the bench are getting they're not there yet, but they're getting a little bit better at it or understanding it. And it comes from our point guards. Sherry Porter, it's only her first year with us, and she's getting better at it too. So, and it just helps our defense out so much.
Coach, you talked about changing a little bit of the offensive identity you guys are going to have down the stretch, getting a little more physical, slowing the game down. That's obviously going to put you at the free throw line more. How important is it for you guys not only to get to the line more, but to convert there more?
Yeah, I think that's important. We talk about, some of the games that we've lost, we went in and said, man, we're going to have to make free throws. It's going to come down to the end, and if we are ahead, if we're 10 points ahead, 5 points ahead, they're going to start fouling. And that's what most of our losses from, the Troy's game, Southern Miss's game, we missed 2 free throws at the end. Those are going to be extremely, especially in the tournament. You got to make layups, and you definitely got to make free throws because it's going to come down to that. People will start fouling you early, and can you go out now? We got kids that can. We got some kids shooting 75, 80%, but then we got some kids that don't. And we've tried Kevin's thing of shooting underhand, Barry. Couldn't make one. It was worse.